Well, first of all, thank you all for having us. It's great to coach these two young men and, as a group and as a whole. So, I'm fortunate enough to be here at USC. I'm fortunate enough that those guys allow me to coach them. It's a lot bigger than just coaching right now. So right now with us, we're definitely becoming a family. And you can see the growth and the trust amongst all of us, in that room and as a staff collectively. So, pretty much we're open game. Any questions you all have, we're here to answer. And once again, thank you all for having us.
Okay, so Ryan Young with a question. We'll start with you.
Two questions for Chris and Olaijah. First, the defense overall, how different is defensive practice this year compared to last year? What stands out to you?
Something that stands out to me is last year we weren't really physical, so we didn't really get the feel of like hitting, even though we know how to hit and be physical. But now just getting the feel of the physicality of in practice going against each other, it's just helping us.
Yeah, for me, I'd say that the biggest difference that I've seen in comparison to last year would probably just be the physicality for sure, and just the energy level that we come to practice every day. Last year everything was kind of toned down, but this year our coaches come out with a lot of energy, and everybody really competes like it's a game. We really treat practice like it's a game. We're going our receivers like we're getting ready for Arizona State.
And then positional-wise, this is your third position coach in 3 years. Chris, only your second year. But Olaijah, maybe how different has it been going from one guy to the next guy to now Donte and the way they teach things?
It's different. It's just kind of teaching me the way of life and how things work. And right now, I'm in the most comfortable position I've been in all 3 years. So I'm just blessed.
Same thing for me. Donte is my fourth DB coach since I've been in college. Having him is a true blessing for me. Everybody knows the relationship I have with him. So, just having somebody on staff with us that, really cares about his players the way he does. You could definitely tell the difference in the DB room this year.
Thank you.
We'll go to Adam Grossbart.
Morning, guys. Chris and Olaijah, on Monday, Coach Helton was talking about how, the most effective version of this defense has shut down corners that allow the line to get after the QB. Like, how are you embracing that challenge?
Embracing that challenge by just dominating on the field and showing that what we're about. Because a lot of schools and a lot of people don't think that USC isn't like a DB school, but I think we're going to change that to new DBU.
Yeah, just to carry on off of what Olaijah said. I definitely feel the same way. I feel like we definitely don't have the respect that we want. So, we're definitely embracing that challenge, and we're ready to show the whole Pac-12 that we're the best DB corps in the country.
And Donte, just first week and a half of like real live practices with these guys. Like, what have you learned about your unit so far?
For one thing that they have said is that they're extremely competitive as a group and extremely prideful. So when you're prideful, you never want to do anything wrong or make a mistake because everyone's looking at you. And that's the life of a corner. You can play 99 perfect plays, and on play 100, you give up a pass. That's all everyone remembers. So you could tell the energy, and these guys are starting to learn how to practice hard every day. Like I say, practice is a game for us. And that's, the biggest thing in our room is making sure we're consistent. And they're starting to get the hang of that and be consistent. They're starting to get used to me because this is still our spring practice pretty much. I want to say today is like counting the one spring practice we had, like the 11th practice. So we're still growing, and you can see every day we're getting better. We're not getting stagnant. We're not getting worse, but every day we're getting better. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, Ryan Abraham, good morning. Your turn.
The guys, Olaijah and Chris, just want to see which receiver has been the most difficult to cover so far this camp.
So far, it's really all of our receivers have really good talent. But the person I look forward to going against in practice is Tyler and Amara for sure. Brew McCoy's in that too.
I would say it's the same people for me. All our receivers are pretty dominant. They all have a little bit more experience this year. But some people that have really been showing out to me have been Brew and before Gary Bryant got hurt, he was definitely somebody who you could tell had a lot of talent, and he's gonna make some plays this year for us. So it's really them two for me.
And then you got a pretty deep roster as far as cornerbacks go. How have some of the younger guys maybe we haven't seen much of before look so far in camp?
Well, I wish it was deep. It's not as deep as people think. Numbers are a lot less just because guys for us right now are playing particular spots. Like the nickel's playing the nickel, the safety's playing the safety. It's not as much movement as I would say in the past. So guys are getting, used to pretty much playing a particular spot for us right now. And, the guys that are standing out to me, I mean, to be honest, all these guys are young. Like you take, Olaijah, he's a true junior, and Chris is still a true sophomore. So as a whole, everyone is still young to me, top to bottom. And, I see the guys, I see the growth, and pretty much a lot of guys are standing out. You got two of them on the phone call right now. Dorian standing out. I see still growth in Isaac Taylor-Stewart. I mean, it keeps going where I see guys are getting better daily as a group.
Okay, Eric McKinney, you're up.
Coach, well, one of the things your fellow coaches have talked about when asked, what they've seen throughout college football is sort of a struggle for defenses to tackle. How have you seen that? How do you kind of address that? And is it different in this kind of year to prepare your guys to be able to tackle well compared to maybe just, regular seasons in the past?
No, tackling hasn't really been an issue for me. And mainly because I feel like when guys break down the space, that's pretty much where you get broke off. So I'm kind of like a guy that's going to make sure I want guys to go 110 miles per hour. And as long as you, pretty much take the space away from guys after they have the ball, I think instead of letting the guy with the ball make the decision of how he's going to cut or what he's going to do, we're going to force the action and we're going to attack them. So if we happen to ever do miss a tackle, we're going to make sure we miss the tackle to our leverage to where the rest of the defense is coming.
Okay, Ryan Kirchie.
Good morning, guys. Donte, how would you say what you envision for a cornerback, the way you like your cornerbacks to play, how does that mesh maybe with Todd's defense and kind of his aggressive attacking style?
Todd is great, first off, because he allows coaches to coach. He's not a micromanager. He's not a person that's going to say it's only done this particular way. As long as you can pretty much give an explanation of why you're doing things and you can coach that, he allows you to coach. He allows you to do your job. So I think the guys mix well because I'm aggressive by nature. He's definitely aggressive by nature. So he's allowing us to do what we do. And that's put us out there on an island. And it's two guys that's on this phone right now that are going to make sure they own that island.
And Donte, just following up on that, how much mentioned guys won't necessarily be switching from position to position, but how much vision, maybe rotation in this cornerback, or would you prefer to stick to like your two outside boundary guys for as long as you can?
No, I definitely do rotate. I am a guy that rotates guys through. Just for simple fact is, like some of these two guys that's on the call, they probably be on special teams, and the list goes on. And they know, every day is a competition. So I never believe in first string, second string. It's an organizational depth chart. It's always evolving, and that's why practice is so competitive, because if one of them stop practicing the way that they need to practice for a day, they can get passed up. We have talented guys in that room. I talked about Dorian and Isaac, also Jaden is talented. And you go down the list, Adonis, so they have to step up on a daily. And, it's pretty much a game-to-game situation and how we treat practice.
Mark Culkin.
Morning, guys. Coach, and maybe Chris and Olaijah, you can answer this after. Coach, playing cornerback is, you got to have a short memory. What are some of the things that you teach these guys to be mentally tough so it translates during the game?
Well, for Olaijah, Olaijah definitely likes the show. And anytime you like the show, he's an entertainer. So if you like the show, nobody wants to go to the show and get booed. So he's going to make sure that he puts his show on every week, and he does it multiple ways, whether it's returning, whether it's playing corner. My biggest thing is making sure that he feels like when he goes in there, he's a gladiator. He's stepping into Roman times in the arena. And Chris is definitely competitive. Like, Chris is one of those guys that, he wants to show everybody if it's 22 people on the field at a time, he's playing 11 on 11, that he's the baddest dude on the field. So my biggest thing is making sure that those dudes are always so mentally tough and know what's going on inside and out of the team we're playing against, that they can physically play that way.
Something I want to add on to that is like Donte said, the mental part is a big part of it. And he said that football doesn't love you, so you got to love it. So, I mean, us playing that role, that's what we got to do. We got to love the game.
Yeah, just to carry off of what OG said again, that's something that Donte has kind of preached. Football doesn't love you. The game could be taken away from you at any time, but you got to love the game. So I think that's also something that we've definitely embraced. That we got to go out there and just compete like every play is our last play.
And then a quick follow-up question, because a lot of your time has been in the Zoom room before you were able to get back on the field together. Have there been any funny moments that you guys can talk about that you maybe weren't anticipating that kind of just loosened up the room?
Funny Zoom.
I feel like every day is a funny day, because at any time or any point of the day, something funny can happen. So it's just, as a DB, we're a different mentality, and it's all fun and games until we get serious.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything particularly like on Zoom has happened, but we always have a good time in the DB room. I mean, Donte's real big on teaching us about life. Some of his life lessons may involve a funny story before practice and stuff to kind of, loosen everybody up, crack a smile, have everybody crack a smile before we go out there and get serious. So we always have fun.
Thank you.
Okay, Ryan Young.
Donte, I think I've been told somewhere along the way that you prefer a boundary and field system with the corners. Is that what you're using? And if so, why is that advantageous?
Yeah, that's what I prefer. And it works good because, with Todd, he feels the same way in the system. And, I just look at him as different people. Like, the field to me is the guy that has to, adjust after the ball is snapped, have to, pretty much be a playmaker. Because when the ball's in the air, he becomes the receiver. Just the things I ask him to do are a little different. Where the boundary corner to me is going to be a little bit probably more press, playing a little tighter quarters, maybe going to against a bigger receiver, have to be able to fit in the box. And a lot of his adjustments happen before the ball is snapped. We're almost like the communication is like a safety. So it's two kind of different body types, and it's two kind of different people mentally. And I'm fortunate enough to where I step into a place that I feel has those type of guys and has those type of bodies to where we can still do that.
And for Olaijah and Chris, how does that fit your guys' skill sets playing in that kind of system?
I believe it fit my skill set perfect because out there, I'm on a whole island to myself. And when I'm in that position, that's when my confidence raises up and my talents go even higher.
Yeah, I've been real comfortable with it as well, just because I think it suits, especially me and OG when we're out there together. I think it suits us real well. I definitely trust him on the backside, and I know he trusts me on the in the boundary. So I mean, it's definitely been working out.
Okay, we'll go to Mark Colton again.
Hey guys, obviously without giving away anything, talk about Keaton and his growth and some of the things that makes things difficult for you when you're trying to defend him.
He's really an NFL quarterback playing college football right now. because there will be plays where I'll make a good play, break on the ball, and he just fits it in the spot where, like, I just can't reach, even though if I'm doing everything correct. Keaton, he's going to play a big role this year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that we're talking about Keaton, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I would say that, Keaton's definitely going to be somebody to watch out for this year. I think he's going to be in the race for the Heisman eventually. He's that talented. I mean, he makes some throws that, he probably wouldn't have made last year. So it lets me know that he's been working this offseason. Last year he was still a great quarterback, but this year, he's making those throws. He's putting the ball where only his receivers could get it. And he's making it happen with every receiver too, which is, something different.
Thanks.
Back to Eric McKinney.
Coach, and then Olaijah, then Chris too. Having two defensive back coaches, one quarterback coach and one safeties coach. What's the communication like between Coach you and Coach Nybar, and then kind of how the corners and safeties all work together? How that's been so far for you guys?
Pretty much, I see it's like with me and Craig is awesome. So, and it's like peanut butter and jelly. So we go together pretty well. And, it's like we feed off each other's energy. And I'm so used to being the guy that's probably like the firecracker and everything else, but Craig is already that guy. So I'm more of Dr. Phil right now. And it fits, with us and the safeties, and we still do a lot of things together as a collective group. So it's not just the corners and not just the safeties, it's the DBs. And, we work together, pretty much exclusively. And right now it's working in practice. You can see the growth.
Yeah, I say that the relationship between the corners and safeties right now has been real well, even within the coaches and stuff. I mean, Coach Nyber is definitely a guy that brings the dude to practice every day. So, he's always getting you going before practice. And then, Donte's obviously getting us right throughout individuals and stuff, getting us ready to compete against our teammates. So, I mean, they work hand in hand together. We're just getting us prepared, mentally and physically. So.
I believe that us as corners and them as safeties, we're going to take over the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan Young.
Back to the players. Going back to the physicality at practice point, was it kind of jarring or shocking the first few days, or did you all know what you were getting into? What was kind of the reaction being in it? In real time?
I feel like it was something that we needed because we haven't been in ball in so long. So getting the feel of being back on the field and hitting, it's a good feeling. And I think it's preparing us really well.
I mean, it's definitely something that I would say we were expecting. I mean, with Coach T.O. coming in, the whole new staff coming in, they kind of brought that new mindset to where, we want to run through somebody's face every single play. So, just the way they used to talk to us before we even got in pads, I knew it was going to be real physical throughout camp. So I was expecting it.
Ryan Karchi.
For Chris and Olaijah, can you guys just take us through a little bit what your quarantine was like and just anything in particular that you guys tried to focus on during the time able to actually be on campus or really play football per se?
Quarantine, I'm gonna speak on myself. Quarantine for me was it was tough because like I want to play the game, but I can't go out and play the game. So I would just have to make things happen on my own. I would go home trying to gain weight, and then I would try to get a trainer, just to whoever could work me out as soon as possible, and just try to work on my technique.
Yeah, so quarantine for me, I mean, obviously, it was real difficult not being able to be out there with my brothers playing football. But, I had to just take advantage of my opportunity, and I just looked at it as a way for me to get better so I could come back and, help my team whenever we did get back. And I think it's showing right now, During quarantine, I made sure I got a lot of I still tried to do as much football stuff as I can. So I was, going out with different receiver coaches and going against some of their guys. Got to run one-on-ones against Amaral. I was going against Michael Pittman, John Ross, guys like that, 2 to 3 times a week, just to try to keep myself with the right mindset, as far as football goes. And then I had a trainer as well, so I was training at a facility during quarantine too. So that was, it was pretty cool. Just trying to keep myself in tip-top shape before I came back.
Okay, we'll go to Ryan Abraham.
For the players again, just you're talking about quarantine. What to see, you talk about working on your weight. What have you guys, how's your weight changed through the quarantine? Are you a different weight than you were last year? And then anyone on the team, any position that you've looked at and just said, wow, they changed their body quite a bit during the quarantine?
I would say the person that I looked at like, dang, would probably be Big Lick, Jake Lick. I mean, he's always been huge, but I don't know what happened to that dude. He went home and was like, he came back and was just like ginormous. I was like, wow. Him and who else looked pretty big? Actually, Drake came back looking like Aaron Donald. He looks more like Aaron Donald now. He kind of slimmed down. Drake looks good too. He's been looking solid. And what was the first question?
Oh, what is your is your weight significantly different than it was last year, or any change in the quarantine?
Yeah, so towards the end of the season last year, I dropped down to like the lowest I've ever been. I think I played against Notre Dame at 178. So I've never been that low. So more recently, like in the beginning of quarantine, I think I got up to 195. But I just didn't really feel too well moving around at that weight, so I dropped down to 190, and I've kind of been in between 186 and 190 from there on out. So.
OG, do you want to take that?
You're on mute, OG.
Your mic muted, OG.
He's going off.
Olaijah, you're muted.
Mic muted.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. So for me, what I've been doing during quarantine, I've been going home getting some sniffing Griffins. So I'm not trying to gain too much weight. So I'm just trying to maintain and just build my muscles stronger.
Okay, we have time for one more question. We'll give that to Mark Culkin.
Great. Hey, guys, not a huge deal, but your thoughts on playing at 9 a.m. in the morning?
I mean, obviously they tried to get us a little prepared for that this past weekend with the early morning scrimmage. And, it was definitely something that we needed just because, for me personally, I haven't really done anything that early. I think the last time I played a game at 9 in the morning might have been in like 6th grade or something. I don't think I've played a game that early in a very long time. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be an adjustment with our bodies. Obviously we're going to need to warm up a lot sooner and stuff. So, our coaches have been trying to get us prepared for that. I'm not really sure how the schedule is going to go this weekend, but I'm pretty sure we'll be early again this weekend, just to kind of get our bodies adapted for when we play against Arizona State. But I don't see it being any problem. We lift at 6 in the morning and everybody comes with like a lot of energy. So I think we'll be just fine.
And related to what he said, I feel like since we've been so used to the 6 a.m.s, I feel like it's gonna come natural to us when that Saturday hits, when we got to be up early and ready to go to war.
Okay, Donte, Olaijah, Chris, great job. Thank you for joining us. To the media, just a couple notes here. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we'll have Coach Helton. A reminder, I should have sent around yesterday, an announcement from the Pac-12 about their conference press call today with 6 South Division players, including Talanoa Hufanga. Tal will be on at 11:55 to start that press Zoom. And we are working on, and we'll let you know, trying to get a basketball Zoom on Friday with Coach Enfield, Coach Track, and a couple players. So we'll keep you posted on that if we're able to pull that off. Again, guys, thanks for joining us. You did a great job, and media, have a great day today.